All right, it is 7:01. I'm going to call the regular meeting of the Board of Selectmen to order. Our first item of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. Sarah, would you like to lead us?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I do have an item I'd like to add as an added agenda item, and it came in, I think after the agenda had gone out. This is just our annual fiscal year dial ride operating assistance grants. So if I could have a motion to please add that as agenda item 8C, I would appreciate that.
So move we add agenda item 8C, the fiscal year 2024 dial-a-ride operating assistance grant.
Second. Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. 4 members of the Board of Selectmen are here and present. Selectman Baker is out of town and unavailable, so it'll just be the 4 of us this evening. Let's go on to the October 5th special meeting. And that should be special because of the time change.
Make a motion that we accept the October 5th, 2023 Board of Selectmen regular meeting as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Are there corrections?
Yes.
Should the motion be special meeting, like you said, though?
Yeah, it is. They are a special meeting.
It is a special meeting. I'm sorry, I was reading off of this and not that. Stand to be correct. That's a special meeting of October 5th.
Any other corrections?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. I'm gonna ask that we postpone the ones from last Wednesday until our next meeting.
Move to postpone the Board of Selectmen special meeting minutes from October 11th, 2023 until our next meeting.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, public participation. This is one of 2 opportunities for members of the public to address the Board of Selectmen. I'll first ask if there's anybody in the room who would like to address the board, and then provide anybody online with the same opportunity. Same rules as always. If you would please start by identifying yourself by your name and your address and state your business. Is there anyone here who would like to address the members of the Board of Selectmen? Yes, sir.
Paul Anderson, 89 Main Street, Broadway. This water company project is moving along. I give credit for that. They are not necessarily notifying those that are losing their water for a period of time. Main Street Grill was out of business for 2 hours Monday while they dug holes and never told them anything. And without water, that restaurant can hardly operate. So that was a disappointment. Now, they may have notified the landlord. That doesn't do any good. You got businesses there. They need to know what's going on. So that was not a good situation. I just mentioned that. And I see from legal notices that we just gained another solar farm. Thanks to the siting council. On 31 Thrall Road, 4 megawatts. There you go.
That one we're appealing.
That's fine. I can appreciate that. I'm just saying. That's what the public sees.
I know.
So there you are. Oh, one more item real quick. The Broadbrook Library will be open during construction. We're putting a roof over the ramp, and access will be available all the time. When construction has started.
Oh, it has? That's why, okay.
And yeah, and we're gonna stay open during construction. There may be cases where the front door has to be used, but the contractor said if somebody needs to use the ramp, we'll accommodate.
Right. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Patricia Sherry, 119 Depot Street. Does anybody happen to know who owns the property at 31 Thrall Road? Or who did own it?
Catholic Cemeteries Association.
Thank you.
Anything else? Is there anyone online who would like to address the members of the Board of Selectmen? Okay, there will be another opportunity later in the meeting. Communications, this isn't, well, I mean, maybe it's communication, but I do want to just share, and I showed this to Sarah and Charlie. The town of East Windsor was recognized by the Connecticut Economic Development Association as a silver certified community. We were one of 17 towns on Tuesday to be recognized for the 2023 year. And I just want to recognize the staff in the building or in the planning department for their hard work, because this was several years in the making. And it was quite an impressive recognition for a statewide organization. I just wanted to share this with folks, and this is going to be hung up in the planning and development office once we can get it hung. All right, reappointments. Want to cluster these by board and commission?
Yeah. Okay, I'll move to reappoint Rebecca Talamini to the Inland and Wetlands Watercourse.
Davis now.
Oh, yes, Rebecca Talamini Davis to the Inland and Wetland Watercourse Agency as a regular member for the term expiring November 1st, 2027.
Second. Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
Just all these people have expressed interest in continuing to serve,
Yep.
correct? Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Looks like 2 through 5.
Move to reappoint Russell Williams, Deborah Talamini, Abbott Schultz Jr., and Debbie Williams to the American Heritage River Commission as regular members for terms expiring November 1st, 2027.
Second. Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? Again, that's, no, you're good. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Move to reappoint Leonard Norton as the hearing officer of towing and impounding vehicles for a term expiring November 1st, 2024. December 1st, 2024, excuse me.
Second. Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Move to reappoint James Magdikian to the Historical Preservation Commission as a regular member for a term expiring December 1st, 2027.
Second. Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Okay, new appointments. So numbers 1 and 2, we have, you should know we have 1 vacancy left on that commission, and there are 2 applicants for it. David Swain and Bob Leach. So up to the pleasure of the board.
I'd like to make a motion that we appoint David Swain to the building commission as a regular member for term expiring August 1st, 2026. And I say that because between the 2 applications, I believe he has a stronger background and project budgets and vendors and all of that stuff, and he's got 30 years of experience.
Okay. Motion has been made. Is there a second?
Second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Which makes C2 moot. And then we have a Veterans Commission alternate member appointment for a term expiring on January 1st. This is that gentleman I told you about that kind of gave me those inspirational thoughts ahead of the Wreaths Across America Day last year.
I'll move to appoint Kyle O'Bara to the Veterans Commission as an alternate member for a term expiring January 1st, 2024.
I can second that.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
Yeah, caught me off guard because I had no idea what their big red barn was in South Carolina, so I looked it up. It's a national program, help veterans, in all kinds of capacities. And they're popping up new all around the country, so always to have somebody come in fresh and new with other ideas, so.
And he does have a lot of energy and a lot of ideas, and he's a young man who's willing to give and revitalize a bit, so. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we are on to. This is the acceptance certification of the section 5310 grant. I have to say, I read this a couple of times because it doesn't seem, it seemed to me like it's unbelievable. We could get a new senior center bus for what will cost the town of East Windsor $787. But that is a result of state and federal grants. Originally, we were under the impression that the 5310 program was going to be suspended for bus replacement, and then they apparently freed up the money or reactivated or whatever the case may be. But this is an opportunity for the town to get a senior center bus for $787.
I'll make a motion that we accept and approve the acceptance certification section 5310 grant for fiscal year 2021-22 as presented.
And authorize my signature.
And authorize the signature of the first selectman case and vote.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussions?
Yeah, I'd just like to say whoever followed up to see that the money was available and whoever was involved in this, thank you, because that's a really good benefit for the town for $787.
Yeah, that's kudos to Carl von Eisenbein at the senior center.
Great.
Don't we already have a bus on board?
That was a legislative appropriation from the agency or from the Department of Aging and Disability Services.
Okay.
So what's going to happen is they're going to be staggered. So one will be, I'm going to make this up and say one will be a 23, one will be a 24, so that our replacement schedule doesn't get all jammed up.
Right.
But yeah, that the ADS, the Aging and Disability Services bus was free to the town, and this one's costing $787.
Because we currently have 2 in service now.
It's 3 in service.
3 in service now.
Right.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Tax refunds.
We'll move to approve the tax refunds totaling $3,123.82.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. That gets us to our added agenda item 8C, discussion and approval of FY 2024 Dial-A-Ride Operating Assistance Grant Program. This is a pro forma thing that we do each year. It is a boilerplate contract as provided by the vendor. So we typically what we do is this is something that we designate funding to go to that to provide Dial-A-Ride. I'll give you guys a minute because I know I just handed this to you. Apologies for that.
Most of this is all boilerplate except for this one section. Is that the amount that's listed here? Is that accurate for the program? Do you know what the total cost of the program is?
What number are you looking at? 14,000?
The third paragraph on the bottom.
Yeah, it's a, yes, it is. And that's what I was just looking at in the budget now.
I just want to make sure.
Can't read it this way. Yes, that's correct. This is what funds are now, right? Yeah, it's our.
I'll make a motion, to authorize the first selectman Jason Balza to sign into the fiscal year 2024 Dial-A-Ride operating system grant contract with 370.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We are on the selectmen's reports. Okay, first I want to share the news that as I mentioned, the town has been recognized for the Economic Development Association's Silver Certified Community Award. The CEDAS Best Practices Program is intended to drive communities to pursue excellence in land use and economic development practices, and to recognize the communities that have established those best practices. Only 17 towns in Connecticut were recognized for their achievements this year, including ours. It's been an area of focus for the last 4 years, and it's gratifying to see our hard work pay off. Congratulations to our planning department staff who've worked very hard to get here. It's much appreciated. Our emergency management team has had a busy few weeks. Yesterday, we participated in a half-day emergency preparedness training where we simulated our response to a toxins spill in town. Previously, we workshopped snowstorms, hurricanes, tornadoes, and shootings. All of our emergency disciplines are truly top-notch and a service to our community. We also continue to make progress towards assessing best options for the community as we move forward with replacing our emergency radio system. This week, we met with town leadership in the town of Windsor to discuss their recent experience doing the same thing. Their feedback and collaboration was very helpful as we chart a path forward. Our police department is set to welcome 2 new police officers this week. I understand that 2 other candidates were considered. I don't know that they were offered positions, but I know they were considered. East Windsor's Haunted Highway is coming up on October 26th. This event has been wildly popular amongst kids and families, but also amongst booth participants, and town hall staff is looking forward to defending our title against the police department. Can I get them with that? So trick-or-treaters will be able to vote for best booth on their way out of the park. And we're asking for a $5 donation per family with the proceeds benefiting local scholarship programs. Youth basketball signups are now open for anybody in pre-K through 8th grade. You can enroll at eastwindsorrec.com. And this year's Veterans Day Road Race will be on November 11th at East Windsor Town Hall. Registration forms can be picked up in my office or on the town's website. Day of registration begins at 8 a.m. and the race itself starts at 10 a.m. Please come out and support this great charitable community event. That's all I have. Marie?
I want to just report quickly on the things I didn't report last meeting regarding the Water Pollution Control Authority. Water Pollution Control Authority is in the process of putting together a collection box to install on the front entrance of their building in order for sewer user payers to drop off their payments after hours. There's been nothing available, so that'll help alleviate people that are working late that come to here to drop it off. They can drop it off there instead. So I'm not sure when that's gonna be completed, but it's there. At that meeting, they also had a discussion due to, an individual that's out ill. They talked about, FMLA and, personal leave, discussion, to see what's, if there's anything they could do to help the individual. And gave him some thought for some things to look at, later on. The other thing is they were having problems with, the alarms going off on the various interceptors, I believe is what they're called. Is that correct?
Let's see, I think it's substations.
Yeah, alarms are going, so to alleviate that, anytime there's any work being done, they have, reprogrammed their, modems, so that it'll automatically a certain amount of time reboot itself up, so they don't have to worry about coming in all the time. So that was a great improvement there. I also mentioned that they filed a claim with Kermer, regarding the sewer repair, on 91 Main Street and the lightning strike at, Scott Hall. I'm not sure of the outcome of either of those. The East Windsor Housing Authority met last night. Their meeting was rather short. They had two, things that they discussed, one being, the complaint that was brought to them last month regarding power washing, bed bugs up there, the water, what effect the water lines going in there would have, and those were all answered in writing, in the meeting, which was resolved last month's meeting anyway. Because there were some things, going on, they felt it might be in their best interest if they, look into hiring, an attorney for, anything they may have questions on. So last night they voted to, hire, Oxlad, as representative for them, in case they're needed. And he has been very hopeful and has told them they probably a couple of classes they should be taking, which Oxlad, will work with them to accomplish, and that's, learning Robert Rules of Orders, and freedom of information. After the meeting, I was asked if we had any plans to do any freedom of information meetings. I said, there's a schedule for that that's ongoing. And they thought maybe if we can do them together. I said I would check and we could get back to them. And they also, commented about the, community investment fund, where Windsorville Road, Arlington Road is going to be tied into the fire hydrants up at Park Hill. They're asking if there's any way they can get, a print out, schematic so they know where the lines are going to be run, so this way they can look at it for future needs. So I said, oh, that's good. It's available.
Yeah, it's not Connecticut Water's designing it.
Okay, I'll look them up there. That's basically all I have. Sorry.
Sarah.
Okay, I had the Arts and Culture Committee meeting on October 10th. Members discussed some current and future projects. The car cards featuring a few local businesses that were painted by students are completed and on display at the Connecticut Trolley Museum in one of the trolley cars. And they're hoping to plan a reveal of those. They're really neat. They look almost vintage. And comp over at the new art studio here in town, and some students were involved in that. And the Arts and Culture Committee kind of facilitated that with the Trolley Museum. Collaboration continues with the soccer club for the mural that will be painted on a kickboard at Osborne Field. Discussion of possible future projects include a mural of a bulldog or the United States on the blacktop at the elementary school, and the possibility of painting games such as hopscotch and Foursquare in the play areas for students to utilize. 356 pounds of food were collected at the food drive that was at East Windsor Park on October 1st, and that went directly to the 5-corner cupboard. There is talk of making this an annual event. The committee has set the date for Arts and Culture Day for 2024. That will be May 18th. And the group is really eager and optimistic and are planning contests and festivities already for that. Some include birdhouses, using bottle caps for art. And I was out of town for the Veterans Commission meeting, but as Jason mentioned, the road race is November 11th. And that's all I have.
Charlie?
Okay, mine's quite lengthy, I think this. On October 9th, Wells Point Fire Commission met, the fire chief reported 61 incidents over the past month. And the fire marshal's office reported 25 inspections conducted over the past month. The commission approved a new snow removal contract for the upcoming season. On October 10th, I attended the planning and zoning meeting, which had I remembered Alan wasn't going to be here, I would have done a more extensive report on it, but I do know that they talked about South Main Street and the cleanup that has to go on down there. And they also talked about Penske trucking coming to town on the what is now Dearborn's property on Newberry Road. On October 11th, the BOS conducted a special meeting to hire and set a tentative offer to a new deputy chief of police for the department. Also on October 11th, I attended the Board of Education meeting. During that meeting, the board discussed their bylaws, particularly those pertaining to hiring staff that are related to members of the board. The BOE currently is only responsible for hiring the superintendent, yet a policy is still in their bylaws, and some of these policies are specifically guided by certain state statutes. BOE member Noreen Farmer led a conversation on a request for the expansion of sports, arts, music, band, and world language. The director of Parks and Recs, Melissa Maltesi, school music directors, the athletic director, all discussed the importance and challenges of providing these activities. Mrs. Stinson, who's one of the band teachers for the middle school, she gave a speech on how she has been inspiring the kids to get motivated about music in the middle school. She says it has been very successful and hope it continues into the high school level. She discussed the importance of music and the skills it helps build within the students. And she also is hoping for an increase in music budget and staff to expand the program and participate in more town events. On Monday, the 16th, I'm surprised you didn't mention this in your EMS portion of your report, but Wells Point Fire, Broadbrook Fire Department, and the East Windsor Ambulance all teamed up for some new lifestyle training. It started off in a classroom setting, and then it continued in a real life drill with the Lifestar helicopter at the high school in the field there. On October 18th, I attended the Board of Finance meeting last night. On the town side, the standard amount of taxes have been collected year to date at 57%. She also stated the town audit has been started. BOE has closed out their financials for the school year of 2022-23 and their current school year. And they're also preparing for the audit as well. And financially for this year, they are in good standings. The Board of Finance approved additional funding for the Broadbrook Fire Department fire truck. They had an overage in expenses due to increased in supplies and just overall inflation. If they hadn't done this, it would have delayed the delivery by double the amount of time, and it would have put us in a totally different truck, which would have had an experimental motor with California emission standards. And this increase in spending will come from the Broadbrook Fire Department budget without additional charges to the taxpayers. That's it. We're here.
Public participation. This is the second opportunity for members of the public to address the Board of Selectmen. Same rules as before. Please state your name and address. Yes, ma'am.
I'm still stuck on 31 Crawl Road. Was that property sold? Do you know?
Please.
Thank you.
Is there anyone online who would like to address the members of the Board of Selectmen? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to go into executive session to include just the four of us, and it's likely that action will follow.
Move we enter into executive session at 7:30.
Made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are in executive. It's 8:47, we're out of executive session with no further business come before the Board of Selectmen. Motion to adjourn would be in order.
Move that we adjourn at 8:47 p.m.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.